Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Deep Space Nine Reactions. I am Fred. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. For those who are new here, I am rewatching every episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine in, of course, broadcast order. I am doing these in a long form, ongoing conversation format, meaning that you do not see the episode at all. It is blurred here. Uh, if you have fairly good vision, you can squint past the logo and such. You can just make out where it is. But plus, I do updates of like what scene it is and things of that nature throughout the course of my commentary. And obviously, of course, you don't hear any audio from the episode in question. Although there is a chance some of it might be picked up by my microphone because I don't watch with earbuds on. Because I wear headphones for work and for when I'm streaming, but more on that bit of things when we get to the opening credits of the episode. This week's episode is one I don't remember. Distant Voices. Um, as I have, as proven, I have a very good memory when it comes to Deep Space Nine, but there are things that fall through the cracks. Like I will remember major plot points, references to prior episodes, and I will make references to things that happen in future episodes of the series, or how things will play out. But Distant Voices, it's episode 18 of season 3. And again, I don't know it. I don't recall anything about it offhand. Um, it's one of those cases where it's just been a very long time since I sat down and watched this particular episode. So with that said, we're gonna get right into it here. More Yigaris cream pie, please, Doctor. As Bashir is having lunch with Garrick. Garrick trying to lose some weight. Why? It's like, again, anything that I understand the whole thing of Garrick is like he earns a modest income that gets little in the way of exercise. I do try and do some minor workouts and stuff, but still. And it's Bashir's birthday coming up in a few days. He's getting a Cardassian holosuite program. Adaptation of one of Shogoff's tales. Bashir does enjoy mystery novels. There is an episode where he plays James Bond. Cardassian Enigma tales that always end the same way. Everyone is guilty, but the challenge is determining exactly who is guilty of what. Which is actually true. It's like, if everyone's guilty, but what are they guilty of? Is Dax throwing a surprise birthday party? It's like Dax throws the worst surprise birthday parties. This year, it's a little different for Bashir this year. Why? He's turning 30. That's right. Back in the 90s, turning 30 was basically the beginning of like a sort of a landmark. It's like this was when you turn 40, marking the end of youth and the slow march towards middle age, essentially. Then you hit 40, and then 50, and if you're lucky, you'll hit 60, 70, 80, and 90, but still. Like, it gets harder to ignore the passage of time. It's like growing old is a negative experience because it's like there are fewer days ahead than there are behind, depending on one's health. It's like character. What if Bashir wants to be grumpy about turning 30? It's his prerogative. And it's Quark and what's a Lethian? What does Quark want? Aldevar here is looking for a small quantity of biomimetic gel. Why? He wants a few hundred millimeters, but biomimetic gel can be used for very bad things. It's restricted under Federation law. The Lefthian is not happy. And he's willing to pay whatever is necessary. He's talking to a Federation officer. So why does he need it? But that's his business, and business is not good, apparently. It's not for sale at any price. Can't blame him. So, but hey, Quark tried. And Quark is looking to move on. It's like any attempt to get biomagnetic gel is against the Federation law. Like Lefthians can be incredibly stubborn. I was right. There was a Lefthian. You rarely see them. They only appear really in Deep Space Nine, and I think in a few other in a few other things. There's a new menu at the bar. Don't take it personally, Quark. Bashir is turning 30. Like that's just great. Oh, the Lefthian's trying to steal it, and Bashir just goes to fight and is grabbed by the head. Well, Bashir is down. And he gets he's gonna wake up with a bad case of migraines. Anyway, as the rock goes flying through space with the opening credits here. Pretty long opening uh sequence there. There's a lot of stuff regarding Bashir's birthday and the setup with the Lefthian. Wondering how that's gonna play off the things. As let's talk about some business. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. You know the deal. YouTube wants us to say it to promote interactions and such. And if how I do respond to every type of comment, negative or positive, as long as YouTube isn't filtering it, as I recently discovered. Let's see. Of course, I am live over on Twitch 7 nights a week, 9:30 p.m. start time Eastern time. Mondays to Fridays, 5 p.m. start time on Saturdays and Sundays. Games that we are currently featuring heading into the week of August 9th, 2026 are Yakuza Like a Dragon, Sandland, and in the nearest future, actually next week, Gears of War 3 returns for another playthrough. It's been a while for that. We might do something extra or different this week as well. We might throw in a little curveball on Wednesday. But those are all the things. And of course, if you want to help keep the lights on, support the channel in a small way, because there is no Patreon associated with the channel. There is a PayPal donation link in the description below. And if you want to toss a few dollars that way, it would be appreciated. You don't have to, but it's there. The option is there. And some folks have been doing so, and it has helped in a big way. Back to the episode at hand here. Bashir is on the ground. The lights are flickering. Of course, we got Andrew Robinson as Garrick. Bashir to security. Like this like made a mess of all the canisters of M&Ms and Skittles and Reese's Pieces. Everything has been well, not everything has been wrecked, but the monitors are all staticky. Like everything is broken, Bashir. Like if it, like Bashir's his mind is not fully adapting to the situation at hand. Let's realize that is a cheap ass office chair. In fact, I think I had a chair exactly like that when I was a teenager. There's some mumbling voices in the distance. You could say they are distant voices. Ba-da-ba. Is there anybody out there? That is an altar. Like a Bajoran altar. Oh, it's for a birthday party. Bashir is noticing a touch of gray in his hair. And a sudden crash in the distance. You know, I've mentioned this before with Star Trek Online. If you look at the, if you go to Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Online, the scale of the promenade is actually perfect for where the positioning of where Bashir is, as well as to of where the infirmary is as it relates to Quarks and such. Somebody's tearing up Quarks. The Dabo table has been smashed. Several Dabo tables have been smashed. Quark is hiding behind the bar. What's going on, Quark? Who is doing this? Tell him, Quark. He's going to kill us. Who's going to kill us all? Who are you afraid of, Quark? Where's the rest of the crew? Where's everyone else? Where's the families on the station? If he'll move, he'll find us. Who, Quark? It's like we're saying we might be safe. Might versus certainty. Quark, tell him. Tell him who it is. Who's here? Run, Quark! Run! Whoa! The chair came flying right up Bashir's head. It is back out the door. Now, where did Quark run off to? And again, you get like an idea just how huge the promenade set is. And okay, the replicator's on the fritz again. Who? Oh, leaking tea? What a waste of tea. There's still scrapping noises. Hey, did something happen in the security office? More things are being smashed, destroyed. Oh, it's Garrick. Well, damn, I gotta jump scare off of that. Garrick was looking for Odo, and everyone has disappeared. But not everyone disappeared. Quark was hiding behind a bar, and someone is terrorizing the station. There's something in Quark's bar, but the real touch here is the amount of gray on Bashir's hair. Now, I'm not entirely certain because of the flickering lights and stuff, but it appears like as gradually more and more gray is appearing in his hair. Garrick was designing a suit when everything went dead. Garrick really has no social life. Maybe there's some type of rampant virus running around the place. Or is it a Dominion plot? Or a space anomaly? We know one of the many things that happen that can debilitate the entire crew. Maybe it's a subspace warp bubble created by Wesley Crusher. Bashir is hearing voices. Voices that are distant. Distant voices, one might say. Yeah, I'm going to repeat that fucking joke as any time as it happens. Like Garrick's noticing your hair. Your hair seems to be turning gray. Like Bashir had reason to be worried after all. Yeah, there is more gray appearing in his hair as the scenes go by. Like it was more on the temples at first, and then they're touching it. So apparently they touched it more and more up to move further and further back. Telling Bashir to relax in this type of situation does not seem logical. Bashir is armed with a phaser and he's checking everywhere. They have a handheld flashlight. When did they introduce the wrist flashlights? That later in DS9, was that? No, I think that was a Voyager innovation. As the lights are going off behind Bashir. Run, Doctor! Run! It's getting darker. Oh, there's a force. Oh, what a time for a force field. And a commercial break. Or as what's that chick's name? I forget. Murray or something. Commercial break. Level H1 Section A, and who is it? Oh, it's a Lethean. And a boot to the hand. Oh, and he's slumping. Bashir's slumping down into the corner. They're pounding. And it's coming through the ceiling. You know, the last time there was something pounding through the ceiling, it was when Worf de-evolved into like some type of Klingon gorilla. Sort of a crouch down bow. Siddiq, Alexander Siddiq is like, so like come out of the turbolift completely crouched down, like with like a long leg crab walk type thing. And there's more distant voices. You're hearing Dax in difference. Kira in the distance. Oh, wait. Kira and Dax are having some fun. Oh, there's O'Brien and Odo. But Dax is glad he's there. And why they're arguing? It was going to take hours for O'Brien to get systems online. Everything, all of the work crews are missing. And O'Brien can't do anything to fix anything. Lethean, you mean Altavar? Well, Bashir's hair is completely gray now. Dax wants to break out the phasers and hunt them down. Axe him, Barbie, in the house. They're saying O'Brien does not have a backbone? I was like, Odo's all suspicious? What the hell? They're all at each other's throats. And the room for any anomalies? And they're all acting very strange. And Bashir's hair is definitely getting older. And they've actually applying a, and again it's very noticeable in this scene. There's more aged makeup appearing on Bashir's face. He has a little bit more of a pronounced lines on his face, specifically like around the cheeks, around from the nose on around here. Next, noticing that Bashir's hair has Bashir looked in the mirror lately? And now he's hearing voices. Voices in the distance. Distant voices. He's hearing voices. Yeah, what are the voices saying, Doctor? That's the problem. He can't make them out. Like Bashir should lie down. He's fine. I don't think he's fine. Yeah, he looks 30 years in the last few hours. So if he's turning 30, he's going to look like that at 60. Oh wait, we could actually compare. We actually compare what Alexander Siddig looked like at 30 to what he looks like at 60. Dax wants to go out and kill somebody. And this is why you wonder, like, well, why pair Dax up with Worf? This version of her certainly justifies it. No one is going anywhere. There's too many strange things going on in the station. Like everything is connected somehow. Odo seems more paranoid than normal. What about the internal sensors? All right, so everybody goes together. Yeah, they all go together to get things done. And the camera is following them from behind out of there. Should have actually followed them out and around the corner, but I know that set isn't made that way. The entire sensor array is burnt down. There's extensive damage to the computer's central processor. Subspace communications looks like it could be online. Odo is moving on around. He's looking around, and it's getting on Kira's nerves. But Kira's getting snippety. Do you think she lost him? Keep working, Chief. The communication relay working. Try to get in touch with Bajor or anybody. You're getting a signal. It's a voice of Dex. So, hey, they can now hear the distant voices. The voices that are distant. The telepathic damage, his motor functions are minimum. And now the realization is here. For those who don't know, that Bashir, it's the internal sensors are Bashir's ears. That the station is Bashir's mind. Delta waves. Like his low frequency delta waves that he's dreaming. The voice of telling the truth. Bashir is in a coma, and all of this is an illusion. These are, and everybody is Bashir's anchors to reality. It is something what they say as it relates if you get into a coma, that you can hear voices around you. Matter of fact, it is something that happens if you, even if you're sleeping and such, in a crowded room. If you, even if you're dead town, if somebody else is doing or having a conversation, you will hear the voices and such. It happened many a time. It's like, remember when my mom was alive, my office here was also where I slept. So it's like my bed was off over in this corner. And so it's like sometimes if my mom came down and was doing her laundry and the laundry room is back there, it's like she might be on her phone and I would hear the conversation even while I was asleep. So again, true story. Like, Bashir is realizing that everyone's acting strangely. You all are. Dex is usually not the sort of person to solve her problems running around with a phaser. Yes, she is. Chief isn't usually so pessimistic. Yes, he is. The Lethean could be there any minute. And if they're not real, then what are they doing here? Give someone O'Brien, give Bashir someone to talk to? A paranoid account with a hothead and Kira? It's like, who is better company? Whether it was Garrick. If the Bashir's the only one who's really here, which means when he's talking to them, he's talking to them, he's talking to himself. The only explanation, so. It's like, Kira is him. I am you. I am you, and you are me. I am the Walrus, Cuckoo Kachu, or something of this. But different aspects of his personality, different voices inside his head. You could say Bashir hears voices inside his head. They talk to him. They understand. They talk to him. They talk to him. They tell him things that he should do. He tells him all the harm he'll do to you, or something like that. Odo's suspicion and fear and all these little things. Dax is his confidence and adventure. What about the Lethean here? What's he represent? The thing that's killing him. The station is his... If the Luthian sabotaging the station is basically he's breaking his brain. He's tearing his mind apart. It's like it breaks it down. Granted, I already said the explanation here that the station breaks his mind, but you think about all the stuff that makes up the station. It's like it's a wonderful metaphor here, and this is a good episode if you're following it along beat by beat. But if Bashir wakes up, what's happened to them? And the Lethian is attacking his confidence. And Bashir is moving slowly. And the door is locked. Oh, racquetball jump cut. Speaking to Garrick, well, who does Garrick represent? Why are they playing tennis? But Garrick saying is you were inside your mind about what does Garrick represent? But Garrick is a part of him, but Garrick will represent Bashir's love of a mystery. Yeah, Bashir is getting older and slowing down. And they're most certainly running out of town. Bashir can't stay there. He got to get his main back online or get to Ops to repair things. But Ops is not where Bashir would be. Will any of them want to play tennis with Garrick? He had a good form too. People are moaning and coughing like refugees and such. People need the doctor's help. Cisco is there. Cisco represents Bashir's medical knowledge, his passion of being a doctor, being in command. Cisco is his professionalism and his skill. Cisco's needed there. He needs his help. He leaves the nursing charts. Oh, and then he gets grabbed. Well, that's certainly a damn. And he's like, he was literally jerked through the wall. That was actually very, very clean. And also credit here to Alexander Siddig for moving around, moving around older was more of a limp. The phaser didn't work. He's gonna watch him when all the best parts of Bashir are gone. There'll be nothing left but a withered shell. Only then will he put Bashir out of his misery. There is a bit. It's certainly, you know what, they could have probably gone more of a true horror bent here with this, especially with how the Lethian looks, and he finds Kira dead in a corridor. And Odo is melting, disintegrating. And geez Louise, the aged up makeup on Bashir looks great. And best part is here, because it's aged up and they have the dark lighting, it really accentuates the makeup, and it definitely looks like he has significantly aged more, because you have the shadows hiding the obvious makeup lines and things that are often detectable with whenever they put aged up makeup on other characters prior to this episode. In fact, the episode of The Visitor, when they age up Bashir, Dax, uh, in that episode, it doesn't look as good as it does here because they are more like in a brighter room of the Defiant. As Odo fades away, Bashir's going through the Jeffrey tubes. And what's O'Brien doing down here? He needs to get the ops. He'll never make it to ops. He has to do something, but boy, he looks like Bashir looks like Clint Eastwood with it's like so again, like there's nothing that Bashir can do with his he got the foot in the grave. So he likes the real Chief better than this pessimistic version. Well, that gets the pessimistic version of the Chief to follow him. Like the Chief is like the pessimistic responses is wonderful. Bashir can barely move, and again, credit to what's really helping here is Alexander Siddig is certainly selling the effects of aging. While he's still in shape for someone of was supposed to be, I'm guessing, his 70s or 80s at this point in time. Like, he is moving around as well as possible. The pulse is steady, blood pressure is dropping steadily. Oh, he's dying. Well, we already knew that. Like, yeah, of course he's dying, but at least they got confirmation. And now everyone has returned to Quark's, where there's Dabo placing bets on Bashir's life. Oh, Bashir is seeing himself. Yeah, Quark is now more confident. Go to show, give the people what they want, and they'll show up in droves. They want Bashir to die. Care to place a wager? Place a wager on whether you live or die. Which organ will fail first? Ultimate cause of death. The house is covering all bets. What if it's a long shot of if Bashir survives, but it's a bet. Oh, and the Bashir is down there now. That's gonna be not Bashir. O'Brien's on the slab. Looks like all bets are off. Oh, and then the Lethean appears to strangle Quark. Bets are back on. Like everyone, again, if they went more horror with this, you would think more Nightmare on Elm Street. There was they could have this really could have been like exceptional. Like how much of that could they have been able to pull off? Who knows? But there in the back as I'm watching this, there is so much they could have done to really shell the terror and the horror of it. And Bashir can no longer walk, but hey, he has his version of Garrick here to help him. Like if Bashir broke his hip, Bashir has to keep moving and crawl. Is Garrick going to help him? But is it over? Look at yourself. So his bones are brittle as twigs. He can't catch his breath. He can't stand, let alone walk. But other than that, he feels wonderful. Is you going to give him a hand or not? And this is normally how Garrick will respond. So it's like it will be his privilege to help. Get him slowly moving towards where? The phaser open. Is anyone home? Ooh, geez, they really aged him up even more here. It's like the hair is like full balding. Like we're talking like a 3/4 of it, the hair gone, like full on. So not a full ball cap, but mostly 3/4 of the way. It's a happy birthday party up in Ops. Happy birthday to you, you Dabo girl, and that is not Lita because Lita has not debuted yet. Dabo girl has a big bean head, and the fact that they're doing like their full on happy birthday song, you just know they had to pay for it because the happy birthday song is not in the public domain, so they had to pay. So Paramount had to fork out the funds for this. Because the happy birthday song is a licensed song. And again, credit to Alexander Siddig for like selling the makeup and the feebleness of age. Like she's gonna pout, but her hair is fantastic. Must be a way to reactivate how the central computer. How could he do that? Yeah, he took some engineering extension courses. As he worked on Starship operations, but nothing to do about the Cardassian maintenance. You can reroute the central command processor to bypass the disabled systems or something or other. I mean, again, the makeup on Alexander Siddig, it's just fantastic. I'm looking at it, it's like just like, geez, he it's like the only knock on here, they do a great job with the face makeup, but you know what the problem is? Well, his hands are still normal. It's like I don't think you can such a thing of aging up. I don't think there's a way to age up hands. And he gets knocked down by tennis balls. The station is worse condition than he thought, and now his hip is busted. He has to find the right ones. There's no way to repair all of this damage when you got balls falling out of a panel. If Garrick won't help him, Bashir would do it his damn self. But again, Garrick would say he's delaying the inevitable. It's like Garrick is basically the motivation for him at this point to keep fighting. It's not the Garrick that Bashir's knows. Like, he's not Garrick, but he's him, and it doesn't sound like himself either. More tennis balls falling on Bashir. Yeah, he did take tennis, so tennis is something in Bashir's backstory. Like Bashir's been thinking? What's he been thinking about? Why did the Lefthian let Garrick live? Of all people. The Lefthian killed everyone else that could help him, but why not Garrick? What part of Bashir is Garrick? Is it his conscience? No. His curiosity? No. Is it his sense of humor? No. Self doubt? Like, who in the hair? Like, Bashir actually looking more and more like Bernie Sanders in this. This Garrick is not any part of him. He doesn't think he doesn't think this Garrick belongs here inside his head. Which leaves one question, and it's going to be the reveal that he's the Lefthian because of the side-by-side angle shot here to show the transition morph sequence. The Lefthian confronting Bashir once again. He's been he's been very entertaining. Also, I'm thinking of you know what I'm also thinking in terms of aged up makeup. How awful the aged up makeup on Matt Smith looked on the his final episode of Doctor Who before he regenerates into the 12th or 13th and into the 12th Doctor. Yeah, it's like how, but think of how badly that looked in comparison to this. Bashir was good enough, but his parents would not approve, so he gave up on it, and he became a doctor instead. Bashir loves medicine, but uh, but he loved tennis more. It's like why there's so tennis balls all over the place. And what about medical school? He should have been first in his class. What went wrong? He made him a simple mistake in the final exam. And again, it's a callback to other episodes here, things that have been mentioned before. So why? So it's like he's saying, like, why did Bashir do that? Why did he answer the question wrong? But again, if you look at this, like, why did Bashir answer the question wrong? In relation to him, the later revelation that Bashir is genetically engineered, that he couldn't take the pressure. That's just like, yeah, he failed. He intentionally got the question wrong, so that he could, not raise any suspicions. And now they're talking about Dax. That Dax could have been a lot more if he tried a little harder. But he's saying that Bashir gave up the fight. That he was still about that, and now he's moving. And now Bashir is moving around a lot faster. He was moving around a lot quicker. Now he's back to moving slowly. So a little bit of inconsistency there in terms of how quickly Bashir could move. Bashir is realizing the mistake he made, that he was trying to repair the station from Ops, but he is not. He is not in Ops most of the time. But the real nerve center of Bashir's world is the infirmary. If he wants him to get away from the panel, and that's where everything is. Or what's he gonna do? What's the left thing gonna do? He's already killing him. Now he can fix it by just tapping it with a little screwdriver. The Lethian does not look as half as threatening in normal light as he does in the dark. Like his vitals are still low. Like the Lethian, he's not going to accept that he's dying because that's what the Lethian wants him to do. He's maybe inside his head, but he does not know him. Like he does have feelings for Dax. But the important thing to Bashir is that she's his friend. He'll happily handle the friend zone because he can rizz up anyone else, as we have seen. And besides, Bashir does end up with Dax eventually, and granted not Jadzia, but the very cute Ezri. He could have been first in his class if he wasn't hiding that he was genetically engineered. But it would not have changed anything about him. He still would have chosen this assignment. So it's like, this is an episode that's really all about defining Bashir a lot more. This is one hell of a birthday for Bashir. Like he can't do this. Bashir can do anything he wants. It's his mind. He can do anything he wants. It's his imagination. Begin the sterilization progress. You know what they say? It's better to burn out than to fade away. Now, although in that case, I think the Lothian got both. And now Bashir wakes up. Kind of makes you wonder, how long was he out and under? But he remembers it. But you never believe where I've been. You were there, and you were there, and you were there. So the real guy tripped. Like the real Altavar left in, got arrested shortly after the encounter with Bashir. Lethian's telepathic attacks were almost always fatal, and he got lucky. Cardassians don't believe in luck, and Bashir survived because he was strong. So he was over 100 years old in his mind. Turning 30 doesn't feel so bad. So happy birthday to him. Derek finds fascinating more than anything is the incident is how his unconscious mind chose people to represent the various parts of his personality. And what Garrick finds most interesting is how his mind ended up casting Garrick in the role of the villain. He's like, want to read too much into that, Garrick. How can he not? To think, after all the lunches together, that Garrick, Bashir still doesn't trust Garrick. There's hope for you yet, Doctor. And just think, that is something that Garrick would say to Nog much later on, following the Empok Nora incident, when Nog refuses to let Garrick walk behind him at all. So yeah, this episode of Deep Space Nine. Why didn't I not remember a damn thing about it? Because it's not an episode that is consequential in the long run of things. You got a lot of references to things that I mentioned about Bashir in the past, that he's what became in second regarding the final exam at Starfleet Academy. That he wanted to that he played tennis. At one point in time, and then he stopped doing that, and then he went into medicine. The relationship with Dax, and his pursuit of Dax, that basically died in the middle of season 2, and then when they started to round out, actually give him a character, because Bashir was very much a blank slate as a character going on, where he really didn't have anything that defined him other than being like a charming young doctor. So this episode kind of brings all that up, as well as how like different aspects of his personality, different things that you see regarding his character represented by the other predominant characters, as you see in those particular roles. As again, Sisko being Bashir's professionalism, O'Brien being his pessimism, representing being pessimistic and such. So there is a lot there, and then Garrick, of course, being cast in the role of the villain. Is just perfect that he still doesn't trust Garrick to any degree, even though they're clearly friends. They have lunch together all the time, but Bashir's clearly still wary of Garrick, thinking he's a Cardassian spy. So there is certainly there's a lot of enjoyable aspects here. Now, I mentioned it throughout that, and I'm not sure, and I don't think it was for budgetary reasons, but if they lean a little bit more into the horror aspect of things, this episode could have stand out a lot more than it does. Because I guarantee you that I'm not really going to remember. Like, if I was to do a rewatch of Deep Space Nine in episode order 5-10 years from now, much like about 50 minutes ago, I would not be able to tell you a damn thing about it because it's a fine episode. It's a fine episode. Here, it stands on its own. It pretty much has to. But I would not be able to tell you a damn thing about it because because other than the fact that it references so many things regarding Bashir, I would not be able to tell you what else. Like what it does, what's the thing here, or like all the individual aspects of it. Now, if it leaned more into the, I kind of think if it leaned more into the horror, like okay, we see we saw like Jadzia being carried off. We saw, uh, Leslie choke out Quark. We saw Cisco being yanked through the wall. If we saw like if Kira and Oda was there and like if we saw what was happening there, if the revelation that everything regarding like everything was happening in Bashir's mind happened later while when all this stuff was happening, when all these individual incidents occur, and have that revelation happen later, it probably would have worked a lot more. I say probably, but who knows? It's it's kind of like how I see things. Anyway, let's see. Next week, the episode is Through the Looking Glass, which is well, clearly it's a mirror universe episode. I'm trying to remember. I think it's the one where Mirror Jennifer comes through and kidnaps Jake to lure Cisco over to the other side. I think it's where the other side gets their version of the Defiant. I think that's the episode. I'm not 100% sure on that. Anyway, with that said, if you made it to the very end here, thank you very much for watching. Uh, Again, I've already mentioned it, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Tighten your friendship bracelet, stay safe, have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye, folks.